In 2022, I saw that the National Theatre and Concert Hall was looking for people who actually have diplomatic work experience to perform on stage. It started with 2 months of training at Theatre Vidi in Lausanne. So many things happened back then. It felt like having a dream by the lakeside.
It's a project about generations, different generations in Taiwan. It's a project about 3 very private perspectives. In the center, it's a project about a country that feels like a country and that is not recognized as a country, and what complications this brings about.
Moi, je dois couper les tubes et puis et monter les écrans.
How to tell the story of Taiwan and these people on stage to a European audience. So that was the moment when we felt, okay, maybe there's a way of sharing images and elements, objects of Taiwan in a different way on stage. In this example, we have the skyline of Taipei. That was one of the very first images that we wanted to play with. The history, the representation of Taiwan abroad, which is complicated, which has a large scale, sort of play with the scale. Suddenly, the personal story of one of the 3 performers gets really like big and large, and in the next moment, they're just a tiny human being in a very complex and large environment.
My name is Chiayo Kuo. I'm the founder of Taiwan Digital Diplomacy Association. We're an activist NGO. Our goal is to make Taiwan more visible. And I realized that sometimes people-to-people diplomacy might be more sincere and sustainable than official diplomacy. Received the diagnosis from the doctor saying that, oh, I'm only at the stage 0 of cancer. I feel quite relieved. And I wrote an email to Stefan and I tell him, I want to participate in this performance. In my life, I never feel so strongly that I want to live and want to create something in the world. And I decided to do something different in my life, so I came here. The touring involves constant movement. With each new country, there are new lines to learn. Our crew usually works on the train, and I will memorize my lines while traveling. After the 2 months of rehearsals in Lausanne, I feel the wall that blocked my feelings came down. By performing and sharing about my life experience, I feel closer to myself than ever before.
When I tried to buy a SIM card online here in Germany, and Taiwan is not on the drop-down menu.
Berlin is a weird place. Everyone's thought floating openly in the air. Before the premiere of Berlin, I feel something was wrong with me. Then I realized that it came from the fear in my mind. I was afraid to talk about my personal stories. I was afraid to be seen. Most Taiwanese were told by our parents
not to talk about politics in public because it might bring you danger.
I appreciate this performance, maybe I'm just angry to myself about how I behave in the past few months, like how I behaved last month. Like I say yes to most of the things if other people don't want to do it, and
I would love to help you to feel more
you
passionate about it.
don't
but-
have to help me emotionally. It's my own problem. I just feel something wrong these days, and maybe I don't perform well. I'm always not passionate, but I just realize why I'm not so passionate as Debby and David just these 2 days. You don't know what is inside me. Maybe I don't know it either. I'm learning also how to get along with such a difficult person myself.
So theater school really break everyone. You are not alone.
Thank you.
Yeah, but you can do it. Yeah, sorry， 我没有把你保护好。
Chose already in 1949 to only have diplomatic ties with Beijing. Many of them, they are all young students, right?
I don't know.
They are not old people, right? But when they actually salute, for the national anthem, I am happy.
Yeah, okay.
你选择这个工作，你很快乐吗？人不能只为了赚钱哦，你要选择一样你觉得你即使再累，你都很快乐满足的工作，这样才会持久。就像我这些我都不会觉得累，但是你如果选择一个只是为了赚钱的，你就会觉得很辛苦。血管扩充剂，因为我心脏里面有好几只支架，那我又被堵住了。check 一遍 ，OK， 准备上光。哎，今天排演还是要带这个，我怕晚上万一腰痛的话，影响人家。I don't think I have any difficulty except my age and my health. Because I'm now 72, and so when we have the rehearsal starting from 2 o'clock in the afternoon until we finish the performance at 10, actually it's a very long hour, of work. And secondly, I actually, I had a heart attack, and so my lower back, my spine also had some problem. So actually, I prepare medicine and also the waist support and the knee support. But anyway, when we stand, on the stage, it's a commitment. It's not only commitment to the audience, but also to the director, to my fellow performer, and also to myself. So I think I have to do the best. My presentation. It's a very old-fashioned style, old-fashioned diplomat, I can say. As long as we give a commitment, we have to fulfill it, no matter what happens. Director today is very happy. 祈求祷告，奉告主耶稣基督的名，阿门。
加油，
加油
加油！
Enjoy the show.
Our embassy should have a photo of our presidents around here.
This is how we keep flexible, like bubble tea. Being capable of fitting into different containers, blending with diverse elements.
Divided, just like West Germany and East Germany. So hopefully we can keep peace, with China. And for me, my generation, I hope we can have this kind of a unification one day.
I'm so happy because I'm really moved also about what you do besides this theater work. And I was so inspired.
That's my real job.
Yes, I know.
That's my real job.
Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I want to do this as well. I just don't know how to start. But I just want to say you really inspire me.
You also want to do NGO.
Yeah.
我觉得你这个名字也加了5分哦。这个名字都是个人加的。对啊。
Either we cry, either we fight. It's literally like that. And then there were a lot of drama and emotional breakdown. But then it's like
Everyone here knows bubble tea because you have all these shops around the next corner, but no one was, I think, aware, so where is it coming from? And that you can use it as a really good metaphor actually to tell the story of a country like Taiwan.
That is quite a beautiful one about how society can cohabit without just constantly insulting the other side and fighting against the other side, but kind of accepting the other and allowing them to speak without being totally frustrated for each one.
Seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned on.
The touring will last for 2 years. We have to travel thousands of miles away between different continents. Our show is like a mobile link embassy. Whenever we go to a new country, we open a new Taiwanese embassy there. The constant traveling somehow reorganized our concept of borders.
Hello. Thank you. Okay. It has a living room. And the living room was like, it looks like we're in a movie, in the 60s. We are kitchen. Ta-da!
I told my professor from MDB, the University of Music, and I told him that I'm going to quit the university, but I will come back as a musician. And I did not know it would take 7 years to come back, but I came back. So this is the theater, and this is the Stop Volkstheater.
I might have learned that I had learned the truth of my adoption. I might leave her. Yeah? I think she was too afraid. After Chiang Kai-shek passed away in 1975, his son Chien-Kuo succeeded him as president.
This is how Taiwan's economy was transformed.
对啊，这里面有一个。
But Kosovo still hasn't got its own .ks, so that's why I decided to start this campaign, Domain for Kosovo.
Fortschrittlichen-Demokratie in Asien nicht Teil der UNO sein. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, I will try to remember it. Let me tune the bottle.
Perfect.
Yes, I know, right? That's why I'm lying here. You want to join the club?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Like UN? You want to join the club?
Come with your computer.
I think that was like a couple hours before his death, and my boyfriend told persuade my father that changing my musical path from classical to jazz is not a bad thing. He sort of told my father, if you like bubble tea so much and I like jazz so much, and why don't we just combine them? And back then that was also the moment I thought, yeah, I mean, this would be a great idea. So I think that was more or less the last couple words that I sent it to him. And so when I saw this opportunity, I thought of, I think this is the moment. I did the audition, I talked about my story, my father's story, and I cried at the first audition, the second, and then rehearsal. I just basically cry all the time when I talk about my father.
C'est normal que la table avec le clavier soit vraiment en diagonale?
So you have to know that I see really nothing now.
Okay.
This is a problem.
Let's try it.
Because maybe you can also put it here on Debbie's table somewhere to campaign against the inclusion of Taiwan from WHO in local media.
In local media, yeah.
Okay.
This is my munition. Very soon. I was assigned to the Consulate General in Ho Chi Minh City.
Well, instead of the frame, it's maybe. So you can blinking from nation to maybe to nation.
Let's put some plans here.
Treat it with dignity, respect, and keep the lifestyle of freedom. About my country.
Ja, noch, aber normalerweise, normalerweise kriegst du schon.
Ja, man kann. Ich habe es.
老师，你这个签名簿里面有看到很多不同的语言，还有不同国家的人来这边拜访，对不对？
Yes， 成立是2008。
2008，
也就是我来 Vienna 的第一年。
然后北欧电影节就是他们在北欧有放很多台湾的电影，而且他们在英国还有一些其他的欧洲国家也有播。哇，大家都可以躺着在那边晒太阳，不错。 Blending into just like bubble tea。今天你先试下看1000，然后看看效果怎么样。That whenever I finish something remarkable, I will buy a Kinder egg as a reward for myself. And I started this habit from my master degree because when I went to study in Budapest, my English was not so fluent. So I feel very difficult to talk or to express myself in the class. Whenever I answer the professor's questions or I debate with some classmates in the class, I will go to biokinder egg. And after one semester, I became able to speak in the class. You have to use a lot of emotions when you are doing this job. And I like the people I meet here. Just I know we only meet each other for this year.
哪有会掐喽啦，来啦！每次他那个洛桑到10点回去没有东西吃怎么办呢？买不到。那葡萄是吧？啊，但是你莫给我拣足重的，足重我嗑袂成，你知道不？这个香吉士，拿2个香吉士。
我想买。
你就买啊。那里面是什么？巧克力吗？
Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
So this is how, at the age of 58, I found that I was really adopted.
Not being a part of the United Nations is just like when I go to buy a SIM card here in Switzerland, I cannot find Taiwan on the country list.
Years ago when I served in the army. I'm now 72, I'm very old now.
We are very aware of the situation between Russia and Ukraine, the war between Russia and Ukraine. Like even the old people on the street, they start to talk about it.
We will hope those important people in our life can see our performance or be at our side at this moment. But we know some of them will never have the chance to see it. Like my grandpa, Chien-Kuo's mother, or Debby's father. The three of us had experienced the loss of family members in the past 2 years, right before the start of the production. We joined this performance with a remembrance of our loved ones, and they also became an important part of our stories on the stage.
Well, I guess we all went through quite a helter-skelter path to get where we are today. We've spent many days here in Lausanne in the rehearsals, going through certain crises, personal crises about what should this play include, what not, how to make it appealing and in the same moment not too distant from what the three of them feel is the center of what they are. Many of us were not so ready to listen to so much things we might personally not agree to. But now it's also quite beautiful to see how, in a way, all of the three protagonists kind of saw that the audience actually appreciates that they are different.
There were so many perspectives involved. I mean, first you've got one European producer and one Taiwanese producer. Then you've got the same things among the creative team, that the creative team is a mix between Europeans and Taiwanese. And then again, among the performers who are all Taiwanese, there are still different perspectives on the subject of the show. And so I guess on every level of the production, may it be on the productions aspect, but on the artistic, on the text, on the communication, It's always about how you combine all these things, and it also extends then to the audience.
第一次我们收到来自 Stephen Kagi 的这个 proposal， 大概是2021年的时候，就是其实台湾只有10几个邦交国而已，所以我们的大使在国外，他们是叫做代表。从他的观点，他觉得说，好像那个大使，也就是代表，他是代表的是一个比他个人要巨大非常多的一个图像，而我们常常在看演员的时候，演员也会代表着一个比他个人更巨大的，不管是情感，或是说类似像是国仇家恨，很多哲学上面的辩论，所以他在想要讨论的就是大使和演员之间的一个相关联性。
这个灯泡也未免太大了。
我们剧团很多人
啊！你们不是给我吃的，是你们自己要吃的。
你吃完我们就不用演了。
Dear guest, I don't talk about politics.
Reunified with Chinese mainland under the Chinese culture.
Don't want to be unified with China.
在台演的时候，我们吵过、辩论过，但是后来我们发现，就是说，台湾再怎么样，我们总是要生活在这个环境里面，所以后来我们就变成互相可以包容跟接纳，我们变成朋友。
我记得我在去瑞士排练之前，我妈对我说的第一句话就是：“你不要跟吴大使吵架。”
他妈妈刚刚说不要跟吴大使吵架，我妈跟我说不要跟任何人吵架。
If you want to represent Taiwan, you would need 23 million people on stage. But we tried to balance out by finding people who have a very subjective entrance to the topic as well from different corners. And yeah, I mean, it was very special also now to come back to Taiwan with this piece, because it's a different piece when we're outside of the country.
You might feel that opening the embassy on stage seems quite simple, but in the real world, it is incredibly difficult. As a Taiwanese and an actor, I hope one day I can not only represent my full identity on the stage, but also in reality. I'm eager to learn how to overcome my fear and see the day of freedom come.